I get it.
Welcome back to the SafeSide podcast. We're back after a little hiatus. It's me, Ryan. I'm here with Tubi and Josh, and we're gonna get into some pretty cool content to review. We got Josh playing the Force Unleashed video game, and
On the
Tubi
Wii.
is our stream jockey. So let's get it.
I gotta ask something off tops. Josh, can we get you walk around and point at things in your background and give us like a brief little,
Oh,
summary
absolutely.
of each little
Yeah,
item? Because I see a
so
lot going on here. Let's put
There's
you
a
full
lot
screen.
going on here. Yeah, there's a lot. So this whole area is my workbench area. I kind of cleared it up enough to show.
That's a little out of camera. We can see.
Okay, here. Here,
Okay,
I'll give it. I'll make it a little bit lower.
Okay, all right,
Make it a little bit lower here.
All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's
Boom.
perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah. So this is my workbench area. These are actually all my unopened records because I have a record collection essentially. So they're all protected, and I'm not going to go through those right now because there's a lot in there. But I'm not even going to try to move those. But basically, there's a bunch of other BS around here because this is my workbench, my little area. I've got a shield from when I was a child. This is from what is it called? One of those medieval times things, but not a Renaissance fair. This is from a Renaissance fair. Yeah, we also have. This is actually my sword of shame from. This is actually bought by a drunk guy at a Knights show or whatever. Actually, the one in Anaheim. Me and a buddy just took advantage of a drunk guy that was like, "Oh, you guys are cool kids," and he bought us a fucking sword. Never saw the guy ever again. I think this was like $120 for the one thing. Yeah, it was really funny because I use this now. This is now the sword of shame for when you lose a knife in my backyard. We stick the little beeper, the thing for the metal detector on this, and then you can use this and kind of wave it around. And then the whole time you're trying to find your knife, everybody has to yell shame because you've lost it in the backyard. So, yeah, I've got all my axes, obviously. This whole area here is just like just some bullshit that I was honestly gonna get rid of, and it was kind of cool little rocks and a deer antler I found. This is an abalone actually that this one specifically I didn't catch, but this was found on a beach. There is one right below it though. I did go dive for this specific abalone, which is really cool because it was freaking delicious, and it was really cool to do that.
It's the only way you can do it too.
Yeah, it's the season actually is still closed for abalone, everybody. So don't go fishing for abalone right now. It's illegal.
Yeah.
This right here is a actual elephant tusk that has been passed down generation to generation in my family. It was in my house since I was a little kid. It was actually brought over to my house in Cupertino from Indonesia, is my understanding, from my grandmother who lived in Indonesia, and it was brought over back in the day before it was illegal to trade. And so I can't do anything with this. The only thing I would do with it is donate it to a museum. But this is it's kind of illegal-ish, but not really because you can't sell it or trade it. That's when it's illegal. I can have it. I just can't do anything with it. It's for me, it's a family heirloom because I grew up with seeing it in my family's house, obviously, constantly.
No, dude, my grandma has stuff made out of
ivory.
Ivory, yeah. It was, I mean, it was popular back in that time period and shit, dude. So
of course,
people just had it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. Like this one was actually
that's a
part
massive
of 3.
piece. That's a massive
it's
piece
huge.
of it.
Yeah,
I've never seen a piece
humongous.
that big. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it is common.
Yeah.
It was common back in that time period.
Yeah, like I obviously don't agree with the, ever taking a tusk, but
Yeah,
my case, it's very symbolic of my family and stuff like that. This M actually, speaking of family, this M is actually for Meyerholtz, which is my last name, which I took it from an old door that was from my grandparents' place in Ohio. So it was a door emblem essentially that was on like a little screen door that for whatever reason they had it embossed with this M, and they were getting rid of the door, and I'm like, I'm fucking kicking that M out. So I kicked it out and I took it home, and now it just lives with me.
Is that metal?
Yeah, it's metal. It's super sweet. Like I love this thing because again, this is like another family heirloom kind of thing for me because it's from it's actually a house that my dad ended up having to sell because it was on my great great grandmother's home. It was literally on her home, and it was like our last time visiting before the house was essentially sold, where the Meyerholtz farm actually was. There was a barn. I don't even know if the barn's still there, but there was and still probably is a barn with the name Meyerholtz on it, because we had farms in Ohio. But yeah, super random. And so yeah, that's pretty much everything. I've got some pretty cool things. I've got the homie Smokey the Bear. I've got Waikiki. I've got this thing actually. The homie
California.
George. The homie George actually made this for me when he was in San Luis Obispo, and I actually bought the metal, and then he just brought it to his shop in San Luis Obispo because he was taking a metal class where they had the ability to laser cut things, and so he laser cut that shit, and um, he was trying to jip me because I paid for the metal, and he tried to take the inside of the bear, which I actually have the inside of the bear outside as well, but he was trying to keep the bear, and I'm like, nah, dude, I'm keeping the bear and because I paid for the metal, so that would have been like 90% of the whole thing. I gave him the star though, so he made a little ninja star out of it, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, so that's everything that's in the background. I usually have
Is
all
that a
the knives hung
crossbow?
up.
What's up with the
Oh,
crossbow?
shit, you can see all that over here. Oh man, I gotta move all this junk. Yeah, this is a mini crossbow.
Oh, dog, we could see pretty far. Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah, this is a mini crossbow. Oh man, you can see the paint tray that whole time.
Yep.
Ugly.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
move the paint tray. Oh man, that means you can see the
No,
thing there.
that's
That's
like
okay.
that's where it cuts out right there.
Perfect. Well,
Right
yeah,
there.
this is a mini crossbow. I bought this. I bought this back in high school too, and this thing's actually pretty sweet because uh, you can pretty much shoot it. I have a crossbow bag actually, and it shoots like a gun ish. It's super accurate up to a point. Like it's like I would say, I don't know, about 10, 15 yards is really, really accurate, and it's really fun to just shoot. But the funny thing about it is like the bolts that you shoot with it break like one out of like every 10. So when you're shooting it, it's kind of just like, okay, really fun. But the bolts are also only like $10 for like 20. So it's like 1 out of 10, you'll break a bolt, and you're having a great time with it. And it's
What's the brand, Josh, if you don't mind me?
shit, man. I don't know. Chinatown, circa 2002, or not even 2002,
Okay.
2005.
I got you.
Yeah. I bought it in downtown Chinatown in high
SF?
school. Yeah, we took the train up in SF, and I saw this thing, and it was like, I think it was only like $30. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely buying that thing. So I bought it, and yeah, I've had it ever since. It's freaking works super great. I had to only fix it once
Where do you
because
get
like this
ammo?
screw got loose. The ammo, you can buy it on Amazon actually. It's super funny. The ammo is just these little bolts.
Can you give us
And
some
if you
wiring and some cardboard?
we could. I used to fire it at cardboard, but then I found cardboard kind of breaks the arrows even more.
Can you fire it at the
So
cardboard behind
there's
you off to the side there?
that's my records. I would never shoot at those.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My bad. I forgot you showed us those. That was earlier
Yeah.
in the demonstration. My bad. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought that was a box.
Yeah, but these I do have some things I can shoot at though. I have like an actual crossbow bag. But these two crossbow bolts, what's funny is that this crossbow bolt it breaks right where the fin connects, and then this crossbow bolt breaks where the tip connects. which, you know, they're just cheap little bolts. I think that you can make a better bolt for sure, because like if you could 3D print a single shaft that's not two pieces in any sort of way, like they would do really, really well.
Okay.
But yeah, super great. I got a bunch of bolts still, so I'm pretty much set. This would be my first go-to if I had a home invasion, to be honest, because I wouldn't want to hurt somebody. I wouldn't want to like really hurt them, but I'd want to let them know like, hey, get the fuck out of my house, you know?
Yeah, I think if you hit them anywhere besides the head and the heart, it wouldn't kill them. You know,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
would
Yeah.
be
Well, I
like,
mean, you could hit an artery then, and if you get worried about
Yeah.
the head of the heart at that point, Rye.
well, I know with like
Yeah.
knife stabbings, in some cases you get stabbed in the artery, but as long as you don't take it out, they
Well,
won't bleed out.
let's
Yeah.
not go down that route. Let's just leave it at, you know, he's gonna hit him in the
I wouldn't
foot
want to
or
get
the
shot with
hand.
it.
Yeah.
I would definitely not want to get shot with it. That's for sure. Because it goes into things. You know what I mean? Like when I'm shooting my speed bag, it goes into things. There's no joke. But yeah, that's my little tour of this little area. It is kind of a mess
Well,
right now.
you got an N64 up on that top rack. I see that. You got another monitor right over there.
Yeah, this monitor, I used to play PS3 on it, but I moved my PS3 inside
Okay.
to play zombies on the big screen.
Nice.
So it just honestly got kind of cold in here, so I
bet.
can't really play that much.
It's good to leave the Wii out there because you move around for it in theory.
Yeah, like exactly, and it's already set up on this TV. So I have this nice little play space. You know, I actually played with like 3 homies on it the other day. It was a good time. It was I was like, hey, you guys want to play some shit? And I was like, yeah. You know, played some Raven Rabbits, if you remember that old school game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you
But
find that N64 in a dumpster? Wasn't that?
this N64 was found in the trash. Yes. It was a box, and it was next to a PS2 box actually. And for whatever reason, like my apartment complex in the Bay Area just had a lot of rich people at it, I guess. I don't know how else to say this, but there was a lot of rich people that would just literally leave junk into the garbage that I'd flip for profit. So I'd always kind of, you know, if I'm throwing out the trash or coming home from work, like I'd always take a peek in the garbage because, like, you know, they're literally throwing away N64s. Like, so it was like a box. It was inside of a shoebox labeled Nintendo. It was just labeled Nintendo, super random, and like it was right next to the PS2 box. Like that was an actual PS2 box, and inside the PS2 box was a PS2, but it had no cords or um, no games, no plugs essentially for the PS2. But I still sold that PS2 for 100 something bucks. And then the N64 actually came with Pro Skater. What else did it come with? What's actually plugged in here? I think that it came with Pro Skater. You gave me that the Top Gear actually was on there.
Top Gear Rally, yeah.
Yeah, Top Gear Rally. You gave me that one. You gave me Glover. But it did come with, I think the biggest freaking play with that, like what was found like in the dumpster, was Tony Hawk Pro Skater, man.
Wow.
That was a trip.
Wow, and that is the come
Like
up.
like that was a come up.
Like coming from like collectible cards, I've had those dreams where I like come across some crazy stuff at like a yard sale, you know, and you like lived that kind of fantasy that like every collector has of just coming up on like a rare thing for like cheap or free. Like
did you Ryan, did you end up Ryan, did you end up giving me this Superman game?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay.
On it for being one of the worst Nintendo games ever made, by the way.
Oh, I love
like,
it. I love it.
You should play it sometime when you're like having a good day and they'll ruin it.
But then there's also, it came with Cruising World. So I got Cruising World, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and I think whatever that other racing game is that's in there.
Yeah, Top Gear Rally was fun. That one.
Yeah, Top Gear Rally. It came with those 3 essentially in the dumpster, and that was sick. And what's even more crazy, is it came with 2 controllers, man, with the purple, like, that came with everything you needed, dude. So I remember opening that shoebox and being like, and I didn't even check to look even further. I like opened it, put my foot down, and picked everything up. Like took the PS2, took the shoebox, and I just walked right into my house because I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm seeing this right," you know?
What are the
Yeah,
games? What are the
like-
games you got in there, doggy? Open up this
Oh,
cabinet.
I got a bunch, man.
Yeah, pop
This
off.
cabinet is crazy
Pop
clutch,
off,
man.
pop off.
Well, GameStop,
Yeah.
GameStop.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this thing. So hopefully you don't see too much of my messy garage.
Oh, we see your
But
suitcases
it's
now.
got. Oh, you see the suitcases? I'll do a little. There you go. But yeah, it's got all my video games in it, dude. There's way too much to go through in here. But this whole rack is PS3, a little bit of PS4 games. Behind this,
pop out some ones that stand out to you.
I see Battlefront
well,
2,
dude,
the yellow
I was
one.
gonna say I got both Battlefront 1 and 2 for PS2, so like that's the clutchest one. If you really like, I think one everybody should play at some point is Flat Out 2 because it's got those funny, like you literally play as like a race car driver, but there's these really funny side games where you're basically crashing the car, but then like ejecting your driver, like playing darts with a driver essentially, and like so they go all freaking ragdoll. It's a really funny, really ridiculous game to be honest, but great game to play with friends because it's just got really funny things. And then my favorite series of all time, Dead Space. I've got one through 3. Funny enough, as I actually had to buy the second and the third one recently because I didn't have them. Because I played them by renting them, and I beat them in like the week that the rental was in. And I was like, I gotta kind of own those, so I did that. And then behind that's all my other PS2 games. Here's a really good one. Ryan will love this one too. Shrek 2, the video game, goated. Play that game with friends, and you will never live it down, dude. This game,
You're
this
right.
is like the
You
first
will not
game
live it
that
down.
I bought. Yeah, I think this was like the first game that I had to buy one of those manuals, before we had YouTube and stuff, to like tell you where all the secret Easter eggs were and shit. This was the game that made me buy it.
Player's guide.
Like, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, the player's guide. I bought the player's guide for this. I don't know if I still have the player's guide, but it's somewhere.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are definitely some ones that stood out to me for sure.
They don't make 4-player games like that anymore.
They don't, dude. There's none. There's literally none.
What style?
Like-
Hold on. Well, all right, boys. Now I gotta look into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like you could have 4 players on one console. They just don't do
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah, they do. Nintendo does.
No.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
but not for, like every console is what.
No,
I guess.
not PlayStation. No, and Xbox is dead.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah,
buy
but
like
yeah.
PlayStation if you want to play that game.
And
now.
then everything else is Steam, which is like if you play games online, right, or like through your PC. So I'd agree with you there, but like Nintendo definitely still does. Definitely still does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at Nintendo titles because me and Kaz just played Pikmin 3, which has a really fun co-op mode.
Yeah.
We're looking for other like 2-player games to play. In fact, we actually have a double date planned with another couple, and we are actually going to 2v2 Mario Kart with that couple.
Oh, that's
'cause
awesome.
We were talking to each other at a party. So, yeah, me and Kaz are gonna double date, double dash this other couple.
Hey, what was
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. This is all the games. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So is it a walking game, boys?
No, it's an open world. Like it's like a Mario world, but like it's like flat spaces, and then it's also I would say a puzzle game though too, because you have to use specific characters in certain zones. Like certain characters can only go to certain parts of the map,
Is this
so
it?
like they can only.
Yeah, I want to
I
see.
had to watch it.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
Oh wait, what the hell?
Yeah.
okay, that's definitely not Shrek.
They're
They're
talking, dude. They're talking about video games. We're just not hearing the
I was just
audio.
talking about that game right there.
This is it, right?
This is the first game, but the second one is like kind of like a Lego Star Wars style, but you could do 4-player and be like Donkey, Fiona, Shrek, and like Gingy or something.
Yeah, you can do all of them, dude. They have all the characters, dude. They're all unlockable.
No, this is Shrek
Once you
1.
get
This
far
is
enough.
Shrek 1 for Xbox.
You have it at the end there to be the last part.
That's Shrek 2.
Yeah, click there. Yeah.
Oh, you
this
wanted
game.
to see Shrek 2.
Well,
Yeah.
I played this as a kid. I actually have it for my PS2. as well. I just never put it in years.
It's a
Go
great game though, dude.
ahead a bit because I want to see like the 4-player. Oh my god.
Classic.
Yeah, like right there, you can see the gameplay.
Oh, I see. It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it is a beat 'em up. Yeah.
Like a little Guitar Hero here.
I mean, they still
Yeah.
make beat 'em ups, dudes. Like they last year there was that Shredder's Revenge, which was like a throwback to that original arcade style Ninja Turtle game. If you have Netflix, you could actually play it for free now through Netflix account.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yeah, it's worth downloading, dude. So I'd recommend it on your iPad or iPhone. And it's classic beat 'em up. And I have it for my Switch, and it's a fucking great game. And you could play it couch co-op, as you said, Rye Guy. That's what they call that. But you could also play it online with your homies. Like I played it with Jared and Nick. I think we did it on over the show or Game On, and we streamed it and everything. We all played online, and it's a fucking really fun game. I recommend it. But I now that I know what you guys are looking for, I will start texting you guys good games that are in that genre.
Yeah, because for me, I really like the couch co-op element. I want to play with people in the room. Like that makes it way more fun for me because I don't necessarily have the time to play online as much. But if Kaz is down, then we could do something together or with like friends in the house is more of like a likely scenario. And I do want to say too that this is a bit of news. Is Shrek 5 is announced and Zendaya is playing Shrek's daughter, and they reprise Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, and Mike Myers for their roles. So get excited for that this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
All right, I just remember this game. This is a game called. I'm sorry, it was on my mind and I had to like Google it on my phone. Towerfall. This game, Rye Guy, is exclusively couch co-op. You cannot play it online. You can only play it couch co-op, and it's this like really basic game where you just Josh, you'd also love this. You just run around and it's like jump, and then the other button is shoot. So you could jump, and the objective is to kill your homies, right? You could hit them on the head, it kills them, or you could shoot them with an arrow. And there's like specials and like different things you could add on to the gameplay and make it more intense and like make the arrows do different things if you want, or you could keep it basic, bitch, where it's just a normal little arrow. And the arrows, like I don't know if you guys can see, they have like they angle or whatever you want to call that. They torque. They arc. Thank you, right guy.
Yeah. I've seen that. Someone shot like a crazy like vertical one that rainbowed down.
And this is couch co-op only. I want to give all props to Austin McMasher, who showed me this game. He has it on his Switch. We played it at his apartment, and it was fucking dope. And it's exactly the kind of thing that you were talking about, Rye, and it's exclusively couch co-op.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's like my genre of gaming is couch.
You just gotta
co-op.
go. You gotta go looking for it, Rye. Like it's definitely like it's out there. You just gotta go looking for it.
Yeah, like right now we've been thinking about playing It Takes Two because that's kind of like the co-op game everyone talks about.
There's another one that's similar to that too, like with cats or something, right?
There's Unravel. There's Unravel. There's
There you go, Josh.
There's a few.
There you go.
Yeah. Unravel's dope. I actually played Unravel the first one before it got the two-parter in there. But I actually loved Little Big Planet. Kenley, we love that whole series, man.
I got the PS3 that came with it, but I never got into it. At that time, I was just getting into like shooters like Resistance and Call of Duty, the Arkham games. Oh yeah, this clip. Oh yeah, we're watching clips now.
Yeah, let me. I guess we can move on to that, right? Now we've done Josh's tour.
I love this gamer talk though.
Yeah.
And we've done the gamer talk.
I've been in a very nostalgic gamer mood these days.
All right. This was one of my. Yeah, I mean, I always am. This was one of my first submissions to the group. Was this just epic clip of this kid? I don't know. I don't know what country this is. Someone commented Brazil? ? But just this kid flying. Look at that photo where he's just in the air.
serious he looks too. He's not playing around. He's like, I'm landing this.
Yeah.
Like
He's like not even.
he's trying to like go back into the transition.
That's a send, dude, and that always scares me about the hands, dude. Like you could totally roll over a finger, or like, when you land and the wheel like hits the board because you're like leaning one way. Like, what if you catch your finger on that? Oh,
This is the other skate clip I submitted, I think. Look at that.
oh,
Look at that.
satisfying.
Look at that. One more time. This is just unbelievable, in my opinion. Look at that. It just looks so good.
It looks
Buttered.
easy. I feel like I'd end up on my ass.
And this is my funny clip for you guys.
It's better be funny. Okay, yeah. So we have a dude on a horse, some crying emojis, some police. Is he run? Oh, he hit the pole,
He hit the sign on the pole.
dude. Do you think the horse lined that up for him? He's like, we're done here.
Oh, he hit the full on pole. You're
He hit
right.
the
He
pole,
hit the full on pole. Yeah.
Dude, that's like the horse cutting it close and forgetting the dude's on there or something. Like, how does the horse actually not hit it? But he
I don't know.
does?
Wasn't that not crazy though, boys? That pole one?
Oh, check this out. This was
That pole
one of my
one's
picks.
crazy, dude. And that's why I don't ride horses.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
if you
this
guys
is
are into
sick.
horses.
Check this one out. He's setting up the game.
No, I can see it. You can see what he goes. Let me see
That's
again.
nuts. One more time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, dude, the flips. Yeah, I've seen it. Oh, this is so sick.
The way that snowboarders used, like, they have the most like crazy ideas that they can do with snowboarding. Like, there's the snowboard jugglers, people who like snowboard on like a surfboard. They have so many options of being ridiculous. This was a sick rollerblader doing like I can't even tell. It looks like it's fakie or something. Fakie flip 180. I don't know how blades work for like fakie and switch, but very cool to do like a straight drop flip like that.
Yeah, it does seem like he's fakey. He like winds it up. You know what I mean?
Because there's so many different positions for each foot, and changing one foot changes the name of the grind, even if the foot's the same way. I don't even know what that grind is. That grind, it's crazy. And he actually does he grab the skate in the flip, or is he just tucking?
I don't know.
Very impressive. Oh, dude, you sent me something like this.
Oh, I sent you this.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude, this was.
what is this fucking board, dude?
It's like it has like bindings.
But it also looks like it can wiggle back and forth.
Can it? I didn't think about that. They're trying to get you to sign up. The heck? Yeah, but honestly, that board looks really fun. We looked at the other one last pod where the guy was hill bombing and like it had the wheel in the middle so you could like swivel. And this is also like a really cool board invention that caught my eye. And this one,
that board invention was super sick. That looks way better than a freaking what's it called?
longboard, waveboard, ripstick.
Waveboard.
Yeah, it was something I would definitely want to get into.
Damn, I can't log in. I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's bullshit. That's why you can't send anything but fucking. I can't even like go to these dudes. All right.
Oh, you're right. I saw right there at the beginning of that clip. He does like a waveboard wobble.
There you.
It's definitely like a waveboard skateboard, dude.
Oh, so this is the full edit. Like that has never been done on a skateboard down a rail before.
Yeah,
it's like the hop.
Yeah, it has.
No, wait, go back, dude. Go back. That was like let's see what that was. Backboard to front board or front lip to front?
I'm sure that's been done on a rail. Not on that rail.
Well, dude, he's using the
they're
tied in.
they're yeah
How do you do that on the
they're
out?
strapped in. They're strapped in. You actually ollie. They're not ollieing. That's just them jumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating. I'm just saying that they're just jumping.
Yeah, I mean that's objectively easier. I feel like I could actually hit a rail on this. Like,
Objectively easy. I mean,
hey,
that is like that's why they have to do that wiggle back and forth thing, right? That's how they gain speed.
yeah, that's true. They can't push. I don't know how their feet work actually.
It
You
wiggles
don't see
back
them
and
take
forth.
off.
Yeah,
They're like
they're
up
editing
there.
it so you don't see it. For sure.
Yeah, and then you buy it and you go to ride it solo somewhere and you're like, wait, hang on, how do I actually? You have to go hella fast, far away, so you have time to bind in before you even hit the object.
No, no, no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you wiggle back and forth, kind of like a caster board. Only with this, you wiggle back and forth, and the center doesn't move. See how the center isn't connected to the nose and tail. It's like
Yeah,
it's too.
it's
See
completely
that right there?
separate.
See
Yeah,
right there?
What is
yeah.
that called?
I don't know. I've
I think
never
What is that type of board called?
never seen this before.
Dang,
Board
first time for everything.
right there. That's also a
That
scooter
trick.
trip.
That trick.
It looks like it's kind of easy, honestly. Like it takes the
I was
ollie
gonna
out of the
say,
gate, and that's the scariest part is like timing your ollie. Where this is like you have so much guarantee of like where your board's gonna be that you can't anti-pop and fuck over like your ollie.
You
It's like
you could don't. I mean it's possible, right? They're not showing any bails, but
yeah,
I guarantee there has to be some bails on this shit.
yeah, and you're stuck in there. You
Yeah.
know, that's the scary part
It's
of
like
like
it's like
snowboarding too.
snowboard. Yeah, it's like snowboard bail. I thought to say the same thing. Wait, oh.
What really is interesting about that is like it makes me realize that if you ever want to try and make up a new sport on wheels, you got to hit like Hollywood High, and people will look at that video
Yeah,
because that's like what you stop on it. It was like, oh, Hollywood High, he's hitting. Great idea for marketing that item. Hit famous spots,
yeah.
but they didn't really hit too many caps. That was all rails, wasn't it?
That's because that's all they can really like. That's the only thing that looks cool on it because they can't flip it. Here you go. Look, this is it broken down without the center board.
Okay, yeah. So this is just like a wave board.
A caster board,
Yeah, with like
but 4 wheels.
yeah, I mean, I use my mini board. I like push to the store like a few times a week to get like a burrito or like groceries. Something like this would be really fun to do that. I just don't have like
No, right.
when
No,
I was
right.
a kid. One of the first sports I did was longboard, and had a loop I would do in my neighborhood of like the big hills, and I like set it up in a way where it was minimal pushing. Like I did it all at the beginning, and then the hills linked up and led back to my house. But nowadays, like the roads are too busy for me to feel comfortable doing that.
Wild trucks.
Yeah.
See, you do the same thing as a caster board to gain speed. It's the same movement.
It's
like
manpower.
honestly, it's like a less sketchy version of a caster board because a caster board you still have to balance because it's only
like a
2 wheels.
Casterboard has the same problem as like a bike where you can't really stay stationary. You'll fall one way or the other. You have to keep moving. Where this
A
is
scooter.
totally, yeah, scooter too. You have to anything with 2 wheels, I guess, lined up, drops one way or the other when you stop moving, or you have to really fight your balance on that. But this is like super casual. I like the relaxation of it. I wish I had more places I could commute to by board, but you know we live in the world of cars, and I'm in a busy city.
Look, they made an electric
I
version.
would love that. Yeah, I'm not really into the electric ones. I feel like you lose the charm of it.
Yeah, what's the point at that point?
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
you're basically riding a Segway.
nothing's better than like getting a good push off the ground on my mini board, like cruising. I love pushing. You can get like, really good pumps that way, and like it feels fun. You take that out and you just have like a controller in your hand. I don't know. It's just not my style.
Wow, it's interesting to see him ride transition, because I mean, in my opinion, to ride this in transition, you better fucking rip.
Yeah, you got to hold
Backflip.
speed. Backflip there, nice. Backsmith. I bet like most pro skaters can just hop on this though and do exactly their regular run easier. You don't have to worry
No,
about the board popping
no,
off
I
your feet.
I, I think they'd be thrown off because you're so used to a normal skateboard, and this is some wacky shit.
I don't know. I think I could ride that because it's closer to a snowboard. Like
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
feel
for
way
sure,
more
Josh, for
comfortable
sure. But like a
because
professional,
I can't ollie
wow.
whatsoever. You know, like I can't ollie standing still but never moving.
Oh, there you go,
Like,
right? There's a bail.
95% of people who have ever rode anything with wheels could
Look,
strap into this and jump into an ollie. You know, it's like
yeah, for sure,
guaranteed.
right? But to do it at a high level, you still like. I'm not saying that a professional skateboarder couldn't take a weekend and beat these guys after a weekend, but they're also not going to drop in at the contest that these guys are all riding at and fuck them up. Because if he'd
Yeah.
never ridden it ever before, like there's no way.
Yeah. Like I'm a fan of this. I think it's a more accessible extreme sport for certain people's like
I think it's ridiculous
for real.
personally,
Ooh, front
but
five. That was sick.
I think it's a gimmicky. It's too similar to skateboarding for it to be like,
anything new.
yeah.
And the fact that you kickflip or like tray really kills like the cool factor for me. You can't do any flip trick.
Not even that, right? Like, there's no like the styles taken out of it because everyone's feet are in the same position. So everyone kind of looks when you're watching this, they all look kind of the same because there's no real style because it's been taken away from them. Their feet in board sports, extreme board sports, so like your feet work is so much what you're doing. These guys, like, it's still what they're doing, but it looks completely different. Like,
It would be really cool if they somehow had like magnet tech on their feet, so you could put your feet wherever.
that was a
and
thing.
Still
That was a thing. That magnet boards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look it up.
Interesting.
But in my opinion, too, though, dudes, like with these guys being connected to it like a snowboard, they're doing a lot of grinds. Like, fuck that. Y'all should be airing nonstop. You're connected to it.
Yeah.
I want to take this to Reggie, you know, like big air kind of thing.
Like frontside air, cool.
Tubi, have they ever made a version of skateboarding where the shoes you buy have a metal plate and the grip tape is magnetic, so it gives you a little bit of extra grab?
I never like super looked into how magnet tech worked or whatever, right? So I don't remember. But it was one of those things that kind of like this that came out, had its little moment, never really super took off, and then it was just gone.
Like the scooter foam grip tape for impact.
Or like or like that. Remember like when AO originally had those bottom decks that like switched out and you could fucking like
You know, they were on something with that because it was like the hard plastic made everything slide, and I was actually a fan of that. I remember Zig riding that at one of the Epic comps, and he board slid like a plywood corner and did like a lip slide or something, and I was like, wow, he really can slide anything. Oh, this, Josh, you're gonna want to see this one.
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. I'm coming.
This is where I want to see you, Josh, with your slack line.
Oh, I know, dude. This guy's going off with the slack line recently.
Yeah.
This guy's going off. I still have not set up my slack line to this day. It's crazy to say. I still have it right here.
Dude, when I go see you, dude, we're gonna slack line, and we're gonna
say that every time, Ryan.
Love it. Every time. This is like a slack line.
I've walked the slack line once, camping, not like super high off the ground, maybe like a foot or two, but that's the best I've done.
I think we did set it up. Didn't we set it up for my bachelor party, actually, Ryan? Didn't we? Or no? No, I don't think it.
We threw knives and for a minute. That was sick. But
yeah, I don't think we did. I don't think we set it up for that. I think I set it up for another. Like, I think somebody else set up a slack line, and I like stepped on it for a little bit.
Oof.
Yeah, that.
Dude, water bales are no joke. Water bales are no fucking joke.
Yeah, you know, if you know me, I don't like any kind of boat pulley sport. They don't feel good to do to me. And this was like the worst case scenario of like a pro fall I could imagine. Is like he thought he landed it. It looks like he did everything right, and then he missed the handoff or something. Oh yeah,
Oh,
We're back on this one.
yeah.
I didn't mean to click that. And whatever I click's gonna open up. My bad. I meant to
It's
click.
all good. We love that shit though. This is a crazy freaking. Is this Zeb? Yeah.
This one
No, it isn't.
we haven't watched.
There's been a lot of snow content recently.
Knuckle content. Yeah. Oof.
Look at that.
Chilling.
Steez in
Wild.
it.
See,
Please.
snowboarding would really benefit from like magnet tech, where he didn't have to. Like, imagine if that back foot wasn't binded in. But
I
he
don't
could
know, right? I think part of it though that would kind of takes away from the style a little bit. You need it to be sketchy-ish and have that factor to make
Yeah.
it be steezy.
Yeah, that's
Once you have that, it kind of takes away from it.
because then you could like
Yeah.
kickflip the snowboard and magnet back to you or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is sick. Like, I was
Fucking
with
just
Parker
dips it
in
out, dude. So
I was with
sick.
Parker and Tahoe, and we were watching a YouTube channel that was like a glossary or an index of all the snowboard grabs. It was, I wish I remember the name of it, but it was so cool.
Oh, I put these in here too.
Whoa.
Do y'all see this?
No, what the heck? That drop-in was crazy.
Gotta watch.
What the heck, dude?
It's about to restart right here, right? Josh. Boom.
Oh yeah.
That's hectic. Oh my god. If there was like a fire going on in there too.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you drop in like that? Like, what the heck? He went like to the bottom of it.
I can't believe he got out of it. Was my thing when I watched that. I was like, what? How the heck did he get out of that? Oh, this is crazy. This happened a while. That happened like mid last year, right? This one, this video.
10 months ago.
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember when this came out. It was sick. So big.
This air in right here. That part just alone is insane.
It's a 30-foot fucking air in, and then he's just jamming.
Dude, that's like no joke. Hey. Heavy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, some good content. A lot of different sports we're hitting today,
Yeah.
We're all over the place on this one.
Well, that's all. That was all I had in the bins.
Well, yeah, good stuff, man.
I'm going back to Josh's office or house.
Josh's office. That's a good name for a segment.
Josh's office, everybody. Yeah, I'm fucking some Wookiees up as Darth Vader. I guess I forgot that you open up and that you're actually not even Star Killer yet because you save. I guess I remember now, but you save Star Killer, I guess, while we're killing Wookiees. Like, I'm freaking. I hope it's not too dark. I tried to adjust some settings for you guys.
You got like light.
Spoilers. I think you. I'm gonna do a little spoilers for a video game from over 20 years ago, but I think you kill his dad first, and then you
kill the.
You kidnap
let's
him.
find out. I think you basically kidnap him from like.
Was he like
his master? Or his master?
He's a Padawan. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this game was one of the games that I really obsessed over when I first got my hands on it. I just
love playing on the Wii with this one because you actually you're freaking swinging,
Oh, Josh, actually, I have a story for you that is very similar to your N64 story. I think I told you this. My roommate, Lo, she was doing a big donation of all her stuff, and she was donating her Wii, and I was like, I'll take that. So now I have a Wii.
Heck yeah, dude. Wii's are actually super great. Like, there's a lot of mods you can do to it. Like, and then I don't know which version you got, but there's a specific version that you can basically mod it to have every N64 game that's out there, and GameCube games too. Like, you can mod it so that it literally is preloaded with them already on it. So
yeah,
might be worth it to check out.
There's
a lot
of we do not at Dangerous Edge endorse that at all. Nintendo, if you are watching, we do not endorse any of what Josh just said. He's just talking about things that
I don't know how to do it. I've never done it.
He'd seen
He said
Yeah.
online.
I just know there's definitely a possible way to do it, and I've never done it. I've got too many games I'd love to play already.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, of
hey,
course,
dude, I
of
got a
course,
question now.
of course, of course.
We're all of us here are
Yeah.
big Star
I'm
Wars
fucking with
heads.
you guys.
What is your guys' favorite Star Wars video game? Go.
Oh, Battlefront 2 on PS2 for sure. But I will have to say though, I do enjoy the maps from Battlefront 1 a little bit more. They're bigger.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm super old, so I mean, I would say, what was the Empire?
Shadow
Rise,
of the Empire?
Shadow of the Empire was super like holy shit. But the first game I played was one of the super ones because they made Super New Hope, or I think that's Super Star Wars, Super Empire, Super Return, and those I was like, whoa, those are dope. But to be honest, modern day Battlefront is great. Don't get me wrong, but what really blew me away more recently was the uh, Lego Skywalker Saga, the complete edition.
Interesting. Yeah, the Lego Star Wars and Lego really gave each other a high five on that one, that whole franchise.
Well, that new one where they took all of them from all the years and combined them all and then like souped them up, that I thought was super special.
Yeah.
But Battlefront is like, don't get me wrong, dudes. I'm with you. Battlefront, fuck yeah,
Classic.
yeah.
Well, since Josh chose Battlefront, I'm gonna pull my runner-up as my favorite, which is a deep cut. It's the Star Wars Pod Racer game for the N64.
Eh.
This is
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite racing game, and you go over 1,000 miles an hour through all these different Star Wars planets with this amazing mechanic I've never seen in any other racing game, where you can repair your ship as you take damage, and when you repair your ship, it slows you down. So this mechanic to me was like such a game of chess on the race that I really enjoyed.
I just feel like there was so many other better racing games for the N64. You know, to come to mind a few. Obviously Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, fire.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on
Diddy.
Diddy Kong Racing. F-Zero was fire. Cruising USA, the original, fire. Rush 2049. I don't know if you ever played Rush 2049.
Oh
which
yeah.
I think was by the same makers as Cruising USA. It was like a later version, pretty much, of Cruising USA. Fire. That whole, I don't know what that. I'd love to. You know what? I'll fucking look it up over here. But I like whoever made those games, their racing games. They did a fantastic job. I remember honestly as a huge Star Wars nerd, and I was going into the, I think, 8th grade maybe when that came out. Rye Guy. Loosely disappointed by it. I was disappointed by the whole movie though after Darth Maul passed away. Rest in peace, Darth Maul. Sorry for the spoilers, everybody. If you don't know about
He
that.
didn't die though. It's canon. He never died.
I know.
He
Well,
actually.
that's Dave Filoni canon.
Yeah.
Not Lucas canon, technically speaking, Josh. And I'm not
True,
saying
true.
that Filoni canon doesn't count. For all we know, now we're gonna get super fucking nerdy, Josh. You ready for this? With Kathy Kennedy announcing her departure, or what sounds like she's announcing her departure. For all we know, Filoni might take the reign and become the ultimate emperor of Star Wars. So.
Interesting.
I mean, he's on the tape. I think his name with a few other names is being thrown out right now for taking over that role. If you guys are keeping up to date with your nerd knowledge,
Yeah.
let me ask
You know,
you. Let me ask you guys this, Josh. You're a Star Wars fan, yeah?
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
Okay, and Ragai,
Yeah.
you kind of are as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Josh. What's your go-to Star Wars film? Let's hear it.
Oh, I would say either a Phantom Menace or Clone Wars. Clone Wars is pretty sweet. I
Clone
like
Wars
that
the
one a lot.
movie or Clone Wars the animated film?
Oh, the movie for sure. Yeah. The animated though, I did actually go back and watch all of them recently. Like I would say within the last like 3 years or whatever, and that it was actually fucking cool to watch all
The
this.
the television series or the
Yeah,
original
the
animated?
show, the series.
The original animated
pretty
movie was really
Yeah.
good too. That spun
Yeah.
the series. If you guys,
Oh, really?
yeah, there was a
I
movie
gotta
that
check that one
spun the
out.
series.
I was thinking about the series only.
Yeah. This show was
But
cool.
where are you?
Rye guy, go ahead. Say whatever you're gonna say.
Well, it's interesting. My favorite Star Wars movie to think about is Phantom Menace because that's the one that I grew up with. The games it spawned, which I include the Battlefront games as a spawn of Phantom Menace, were phenomenal. And the merchandise, like the Pepsi collab, sticks out in my mind. There's a flavor of fruit roll-up that was Jedi themed, where it was green. It was the Qui-Gon flavor, and the fruit by the foot was his lightsaber. It had a flavor I've never tasted since. That was so good. But the movie of Star Wars I go back and watch the most is the Back. I
Which
think
one?
that
Which
one,
one?
the
Which
music,
one?
the
Which
dance,
one?
the Empire Strike Back.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
I
With,
mean,
like Hoth and like Han Solo and just everything about that movie to me is just really.
I'm right. And that's the traditional correct answer.
Yes.
That's not my pick. But if we were gonna be in a circle of fucking nerds, Rye Guy had the correct what they would consider to be the correct answer. I go Return of the Jedi, which is also blasphemy, but I don't give a fuck. They're stupid and they're morons. The Ewoks were awesome, and they eat people. Everyone, the Ewoks are so stupid. They eat people. You know what were
Where
they
do you
about
think they
to
got
do?
all the meat from?
They were about to cook everybody. They were literally about to cook everybody before C-3PO had to step in. The whole intro of the movie at Jabba's palace, what I love about Star Wars, my favorite thing is the eye candy. The walking into a bar and they do the pan shot and they show all the different species of non-humanoid or humanoids, but non us. They're humanoids, but they're fucking weird, you know, or they're not, or there's some other weird, bizarre thing, or they're a robot. Love all that. Love every second of that. And Return of the Jedi was like really that whole Jabba's palace scene is just eye candy like no other.
Yeah. Leia, eye candy. Yeah.
Oh, that part too. No, but I mean, I was in love with Boba Fett, dude. Like, I am why they made that TV series. That spin-off TV series is because of all the people like me. I was obsessed with that whole thing. The reason you guys got Jango Fett because of me. Me and all the nerds who waited in line to get his autograph at Comic Cons and shit back in the day. That then inspired George. George is like, oh shit, I gotta keep this going, and then he brings in Django and gets his head chopped off, right?
Yeah.
Which is in Clone Wars. Which is in Clone Wars, if I'm not mistaken.
I just think the fighting in Clone Wars is super sweet. Like it's the coolest. You know, we see the most combat in it. You know, which that's why I like that one a lot.
The ending Coliseum with like 60 Jedi in it was sick. You get Natalie Portman.
The Natalie Portman shit. The Natalie Portman in that part was pretty. I mean, Natalie Portman is the ultimate babe of Star Wars, in my opinion. I think she surpassed Princess Leia. But when I was growing up, it was all about Princess Leia. It was all about Princess Leia. I was just let down by that movie, dudes. Like I was like obviously a lot older than y'all at that point, and I was in 8th grade. My whole life had already been dedicated to Star Wars, and all of a sudden they're about to do these movies. My world had changed. I was like, no fucking way. I had already purchased shirts and all this different shit at Darth Maul, and I went into that theater decked the fuck out, ready to watch this movie. And then it hits that point. Because in my mind, he's going to be the big bad for the next 3 movies. He's the new Darth Vader. Hell yeah. This is about to be sick as fuck. And then
he dies.
They chop that fucker in half and he falls down that portal. And my 8th, I think I'm on 13 or something. I was just like, fuck this. I'm over
Shocked.
it. And
he was like the coolest Sith ever, too.
Huh?
Like, he was like the coolest Sith or apprentice Sith ever.
Dude, because you got to remember, like, the summers leading into that and shit, the trailer, like, hella built him up. It hella showed him pulling up on the speeder bike. Speeder bikes also, another reason why I love Return of the Jedi. Speeder bikes are so fucking sick. And that whole scene on Endor is so sick, dude. Also, what like for me, real quick, boys, because you guys grew up here in the Bay, the redwoods in Endor just from I have hella redwood trees in my backyard growing up, so I like connected with that. I was like, I live where the Ewoks live. You know, so like I always thought about it like that. I was like Ewoks. I connected it with home. So like I always thought about that shit. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. I think it's a generational thing. I think that you guys hearing both you guys say that which ones were your favorites, I'm not surprised. Because that's totally what y'all grew up with. And I hope that the next generation, they love those new ones. Because I don't think they were that bad. I think the haters hate and it takes away from the films, and it's a shame. Because those movies are great and they're meant to be for kids. I got into Star Wars right like when I was a small child, and it helped me get through a lot of hard times and shit loving Star Wars. And I hope other kids have that experience. Not fucking. It doesn't have to be for me. It should be for them. You know what I mean? And I feel like Star Wars fans, the core, seem to forget that all the time. And they're just like a hateful bunch, dude. I hate to say that. They're fucking hateful, man. Huh?
We live in a society now where people have made careers off talking bad about anything that comes out. You know, they're like, oh, too many people talk good. I'm going to talk shit about it.
Right.
And then you have everyone else being parrots echoing what they heard online about these movies and not having that organic, no one told me what to think about this and I'm watching this for the first time, childhood experiences.
But these Star Wars nerds are like 50 to 60-year-old men at this point. They're like, they've been doing this they've grown up with the internet. They've been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are some fucking true, like, in the fucking bedroom, you know, typing away. I mean, that's literally what I do. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the image I'm trying to put out there. And that literally is me, and I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so I'm just explaining myself. But they're more in a hateful way of like, Rey, F this bitch. And you're like, whoa, bro. Like, she was actually pretty tight. You know? Like, I don't know.
Great. Loved his arc.
I liked all the arcs. I think that they kind of did a little. They went for it too much in a way. They had so much going on with like so many different arcs, so everyone didn't get to have a full arc. But if you look at the original movies, that's kind of how it was back then too. You know, we didn't know shit about Han Solo. You know, we're like, this guy is kind of cool.
Where they have every character have an arc and have like, you know, slap a bow on it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It kind of ruins from like the potential of having those spin-off movies about these characters. Like they probably could have gotten away with a Han Solo movie with Harrison Ford back in the day after the original trilogy. They probably could have made a Han Solo Harrison Ford movie that would have done really good because they never really flushed him out and gave him a bunch compared to like Luke.
Well, even with Luke,
true that.
Even with Luke, we just catch up with him at one point and we're told what his past was. And they actually shot more. There was scenes that were shot about him flying those small little planes and shooting the womp rats or whatever he talks about briefly. Because you could see still images of shots of that they've shot that they filmed of it. But point being, like, I know what you're saying, Rye, but I think part of it is the mystery, like. Or it leaves it for literature too, because back in the day they did a lot of Star Wars comics and there was a lot of books and stuff like that. Because the thing too is you want these actors got to do other roles and shit. It sucks when the actors, because that's kind of how I feel like those last batch of people felt. They were like, oh, we were overworked by the situation or whatever their complaints were. So you want to have them have the capability to go off and do other shit. But at the same time, what I'm disappointed by is now that Disney owned, when George owned it, and he didn't have the money and shit to immediately make the next movies, he had to wait hella years and then make them when you guys were kids and I was in middle school, right? Now with Disney opening it, it's the perfect time for them to actually make a two batch. Like, now that we saw that Rey has her powers, whatever, let's see her actually do some Jedi shit, you know? And now with them all being like, oh, we don't want to make more of them, or I don't know where they're at now, if they are or they're not. But, it's just like, I want to see that. I want to see the full, because the coolest shit would have been in Luke Skywalker full Jedi'd out. We never really saw that. Return of the Jedi is the closest thing you get to him being like fully powered.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tubi, did you play the Battlefront EAs? Because
I played him way later.
In the campaign, you catch up with Luke after the original trilogy, and he's looking for the Sith Wayfinder in the campaign of the Battlefront 2 EA version. And so you actually get a little bit of his story. He talks to the main character that you play as, and he says, I've been looking for the Sith Wayfinder for a while, and then you find it in Palpatine's cache of all his galactic collectibles. So there's a little bit more that they do dive in the game, which is cool to connect the movies, like bridge the two movies with the game Band-Aid.
Well, it depends on like there's other books where Luke gets married and Leia and Han have twins and this whole other fucking storyline that came out after those books that I don't know if it was canon at the time when George owned it before selling it to Disney, but like all of those books and all that, now that Disney's purchased it, are no longer canon. So it's interesting what the Luke and you could see like I don't know what backstory they're doing. BK would be the perfect person to ask this because he's read a lot of the comics and literature or what have you. So he's more filled in on what the canon is of what Luke's exact storyline is. But it's all very, I don't know, up in the air. I don't care anymore. Like I used to care, like, oh, what was canon and what George said was cool. But now he's not. Now it's Disney and it's this, that, the other. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all just like, is it a cool, like Andor? I super like that. I just like that storyline and that take on the Star Wars universe. I'd rather, at this point, to be honest, boys, have them not touch the Skywalkers at all. Do storylines completely away from the Skywalkers and anyone associated, including Yoda or any of that bullshit. Like, let's just get away from all that and do
I want backstories on everybody else. I want new characters.
That's what I'm saying. I want all new shit.
Did you like Acolyte?
I like Acolyte.
It had Darth Plagueis in it, and that was very
supposedly.
That's not him.
I mean, that's what people say. Yeah, but I didn't like my imagination of what I listened to the book on him and Palpatine and how they came to power or whatever, and it's super interesting and whatever. And just my imagination of what he looked like wasn't that. I didn't like that version of him. Personal opinion.
Well, what would be your you two? What would be like your ideal Star Wars movie if you could like make the plot for it?
Dude,
you know,
honestly, Mandalorian without with Grogu, without Baby Yoda. Like I would love what I would love, boys, and this could sound weird, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. I like a TV show like Psych, or let me think of another one. Ted Lasso, that's a comedy. What am I thinking of? I'm like shows that are like episodic, where each episode is contained. Like a 45-minute episode that's contained, like a lot of murder shows, like almost like your CSIs and stuff are kind of like that, where there's a mystery or a murder and they solve it by the end of that episode, right?
Yeah, Scooby-Doo style, sure, right? I thought when Mandalorian was first announced, it was going to be a bounty hunter show that was in that vein, where like it's this cool bounty hunter and he's kind of an anti-hero. He's making money off this situation, but he's getting bad guys for the most part. And maybe some episodes there's a moral dilemma. But he's arresting people, and each episode is a separate episode of him going to these different worlds where that would happen. And it's an episodic show like that. You know, no connecting it to larger thing where I need to meet Ahsoka or some Skywalker jibber jabber. None of that. You know, just this bounty hunter. He's a badass. He doesn't even need to be a Mandalorian. He could be any of those random bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back. One of the best scenes is where Darth Vader's hiring them, and they're all lined up. And you got Bosk, IG-88, Boba Fett, and they're all lined up. And he talks to them. He's like, "Do not kill them," or whatever. Best scenes, bro. But one of those guys. It could be any fucking alien you want. Boom.
Did you like IG-88 or whatever? I mean, IG or whatever, and that guy was so sick.
I did like that version of that of an IG unit.
Yeah.
IG-88, he was also a character in Empire, Rise of the, what was that game we just talked about? Shadows of the Empire. If you guys ever played that, you fight IG-88 from that game. I like that robot. I just like that style. You know what I'm saying? Clonky, Josh.
Yeah.
Very stiff.
Yeah.
I like that. I like practical effects, dudes. So for me, what I got lost at on the new movies, even as a kid, was it was a lot more digital. And obviously what attracted me to Star Wars originally was the beautiful practical effects.
I think they're going to get back to it because I think they're listening to people about it too. It's like not to get off topic of Star Wars, but the second season of the show, the Rings of Power, they listen to people.
Is that the
Rings of Power? This
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, the TV series on
so
Amazon.
the second, like the second season, they did a lot more physical. Like they listened to people. They were like, "Oh, you're right." You know what I mean? Like we did a lot of digital stuff in that one. So then they literally upped the cast by like triple. Well, and then now you're actually getting people.
Sonic, dude. You remember the whole Sonic thing, Josh? We're like,
the whole Sonic. Yeah, we bullied them into re-editing the whole show.
Yeah,
the whole movie.
Yeah. That's like the best. That's the best example of it. They literally dropped a trailer, and the internet bullied them into remaking the whole movie. That's fucking nuts. Well, and for different reasons. But Snow White, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with that whole controversy, but they came.
No.
Okay, so I don't care about the lady not being the right ethnicity. That's not for me. But they came out with it, and all of what were supposed to be the dwarfs were like just it was like the village people. It was just like multicultural guys, and they're not even tiny people. And the internet went fucking nuts. Like that's not the seven dwarfs. What the fuck? That's just like a group of dudes.
Yeah.
So they went.
I saw what you're talking about.
Yeah, they went back and took.
They recasted all that too.
They made them all into dwarfs. It's all CGI now. It's a whole. They had, dude. It's crazy, right? Because they had already shot all the scenes with the lady and these men. They had to go in and take those people out and put in digital.
Can you pull this up? Show me what you.
It's just this is hilarious. Just watch the Snow White trailer.
The old one, like, because I've seen the new one
with the dwarfs, right?
I saw Paddington 3, and they had the trailer with the CGI. They looked like I thought they would. They look like the dwarf. I gotta look up this.
I'll try to pull it up.
Yeah, I feel like our hundreds of viewers want to see this too. Josh, this game looks super fun. You're bringing me back.
I'm telling you, like, I really enjoy playing it on the Wii because. Like you're like I'm fighting with a lightsaber, bro.
Yeah, you're swinging.
Yeah, I wish I gotta change the brightness again. I definitely helped with the sharpness, but it still needs some work. I think it's just too.
What the heck? That's them.
That was gonna be them. So there was one tiny person, and it was like a multicultural group of people, right?
That's like such a
but you
creative,
see, and now they switched it out, and it's back to this.
I prefer this.
I prefer that too because it's more whimsical, dude.
I disagree with both you guys, and I think I'm boycotting this movie, and I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Wicked. I'm gonna say about this. I think it's like I said earlier, boys. My favorite movie is Return of the Jedi. I like tiny people actors. I think that they're fantastic, and they add something to the movie. And I think it's a shame that they're not getting these roles because we've decided that it's not okay for them to get the roles. But then they don't get different roles. It's not like we took away these acting roles and then we're like, well, now you guys get all these new roles. We just took away these roles and gave it to CGI and shit. And they don't get those roles no more. And you can't tell me.
It was like it's a rush job too, because they had to recast. No, but everyone hated this, right?
Wicked did the same fucking thing, dude. The Munchkins. There's not a single tiny person in the whole bunch of them, and I complained about. Yeah, I complained about that as well. And maybe it's just a me thing, but I just think it's crazy that if they were in other movies getting like normal people roles, quote unquote, right? Then okay, sure, but then it's not that they just don't get roles. And I listened to
Yeah.
that dude Brendan something or other. He's a comedian. And he's a tiny person, and he was going off about it. And he was saying, he's like, I would have taken the role. Like, I'll take the money, pull it up. Like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man. I'm sure there was like 7 tiny people actors who would want that shit. Acting's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. Because I thought like they just did that because like it's too late in like their timeline.
I think that is why, right? Because originally it was supposed to be these people.
They look like LARPers. That's crazy. I mean, like, I like the idea of like changing it because I that's the thing that Disney's been bugging me about is they tried to make live action so true to the cartoon version that it's kind of like I've seen this. I want to see a
I
whole
agree.
different.
I agree. I agree.
And so I tip my hat to that kind of idea here, but I mean the whole thing is like the dwarves to me were like a family or like a like like an ethnic group within the world. So it doesn't make sense to me that they're so diverse as like their own group. You know
They're
what I mean?
making this makes them look like almost like a group of homeless people or like gypsies or something of the sort. Like they're
Yeah.
dressed all raggedy taggedy and stuff. It just doesn't add up to me. They look like the fucking. That's what the Munchkins look like in Wicked too. That's why it reminds me of it. It's like that's not what they looked like originally, dude. And I agree,
Yeah.
right? To make like I do get the creative. Take a swing at it and do something different. But I think that this one personally fell flat. Like, I think the dress and the chick playing the role actually looks like, like
looks
she fits the role and shit. In my opinion, I have no problem with that at all. But the digital, I just don't. I'm over CGI, dudes.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
Yeah.
it's cheap, it's safe for like
But
the
Rye,
studios to do, but
watch a movie like Alien Romulus, right? And you can see a
Yeah.
great mixture of practical effects and CGI being mixed together and utilized well. Like a lot of the face suckers, right? Were like little robotic dudes
Actual. Yeah.
and it was just a glued like 3D printed face sucker on top of a RC car. Genius.
sick.
You know what I'm saying, Ryan? Like genius.
Yeah,
And think about how many people were gonna have to digitally edit that sucker in there just to run on the floor. Like, especially in, I mean, it's easier in horror where it's dark scenes and it's not a bright, colorful thing.
yeah.
When you got bright, colorful outdoor shit and you're making, Snow White, it's hard to get away with that kind of stuff. But I don't know. The practical effects just they age so much better too as time goes on.
Yeah.
This Snow White like the with the dwarves, it looks like AI made it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It looks tasteless. Everyone's seen so much of this, they're sick of it.
And I feel like that's what you were saying about the
really
Disney
did.
remakes altogether. Like the Lion King ones, I haven't watched any of those because it's just like this is just the same shit.
The in that one especially, all the lions have no facial expressions. Because in the cartoons, they can do like humanistic faces, but in the live action, they're just all like stoic lions. You can't even see their reactions. It's like bland. It's like, why did they make this? Just a cash grab?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Favreau did it too, didn't? I'm pretty sure, which is surprising. But yeah,
That's crazy. But yeah, crazy. I can't believe they were gonna go with that live action, and it's sad that they went with the CGI. But yeah, wild.
it's crazy though that like what we were saying, like Josh brought up, that you could get like it's starting to get to a point where the internet now dictates, and they're like, oh, okay, like fucking trailers come out or photos come out from a movie, and then it breaks out, and it's like, nope, we got to switch this up already.
Yeah.
It won't help
I mean,
it though. It's still gonna
great.
flop.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing this. Kaz is not interested in seeing it at all, and it's like her demographic,
Yeah, she'd
Um,
be doing some cosplay to it, right?
Well, she actually did a Snow White as a Sith cosplay to pair our two topics of the night. Yeah, it was one of her biggest looks she did for the Disney Star Wars night. She cosplayed as Snow White, and then she made herself as a Sith Snow White, and to me, it's like one of her most epic cosplay mashes ever.
That's dope. I have to see that.
Yeah.
That's super dope. I think I've seen it. Definitely saw it. For sure. I'm going
Yeah.
inside. It's getting cold in here.
Well, cool. I think we're at a good stopping point. I'm
Yeah.
burning out a bit, but some very good discussion, great gameplay.
Hell yeah.
It was sick. I'm glad we finally got back on the stream together.
Yeah, dude. It was a great pleasure.
Oh, Carter the yawn.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kitty
Carter.
boy. Yeah. Making an appearance. Yeah.
Well, hey, any closing thoughts, guys?
No, I got nothing, man. I think that I had a great time tonight. There was very great topics, and I think we talked through a lot of fun stuff. And everybody that watched, thank you for coming, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We'd love seeing it, and really helps our channel out. If you made it this far, you're definitely into us. So yeah, see you guys next time.
Yeah, we gotta go back to doing them the reviews where we rewatch the old videos and you guys give out pointers.
Oh, we'll do that on the next one for
Yeah.
sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the remastered Yosemite video dropped. And,
Oh, that's what we should do. We should watch the Yosemite video and then you guys just that would have been great tonight. Fuck.
That's my
Yeah.
comeback episode. It's just
Well, shit.
we're
Hey,
just
it's on screen right now. I have it up. Go like and shit this video. Remastered edition. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Remastered. We'll talk to you all about it next time.
Yeah. Great point. All right, guys. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me just do this.
Brian, take it away.